Good morning, students. I hope you all are good, fine. So, in this video, we are going to discuss the unit test solutions of Physics Plus 1 class. The total marks of this unit test was 25 and the time allotted was 45 minutes. So, some students they attempted very well in the examination, but some students they got confused and some of their answers are not right. So we are going to discuss step by step, or you can say question by question. Every question we are going to discuss in this video. So the first question that is asked in the examination, this is the first question. How does the internal energy of how does the internal energy of the system change during the process A to B as shown in following figure PV diagram? So this PV diagram is shown in the figure. This PV diagram is shown, and he is asking how does the internal energy will change during this process. So you can see here A to B process. A to B, this is the process which is shown. A to B, this is the process. You can see the arrow means on this axis you can see volume is V. Here the volume is 5V. That means this process is expansion, volume is increasing, but anything is constant. Yes, one thing is constant, that is pressure. You can see here pressure is on y-axis and this pressure is constant. So that means this process is isobaric, but we cannot conclude from isobaric. We will take the help of PV, ideal gas equation, that is equal to P into V equal to N, R and T. So this is the ideal gas equation. PV equal to nRT, where N is number of moles and R is gas constant and T is obviously temperature. So here you can see which things are constant. You can see pressure is constant, so we can eliminate pressure, or you can say we can erase this pressure because pressure is constant. But the volume is, this volume is going to be increased. This volume is increasing. This volume is increasing. So that means obviously temperature will also change, because if left side volume is changing from A to B, then obviously temperature will also change. So now I am taking two temperatures. You can note down here the temperature is T1. I am taking temperature at A is T1 and temperature at B is T2. Temperature at T1 point A is T1 and temperature at point B is T2, and volume is increasing. Volume here, volume is V, here the volume is 5V, and that means T2 is greater than obviously T1. If volume is greater, volume at B is greater, that means obviously temperature at B is also greater, so T2 is greater than T1. And if you know the internal energy will depend on change in internal energy will depend on change in temperature, that is depending on directly proportional to change in temperature. So if change in temperature is positive, that means here you can see change in temperature is T2 minus T1, final temperature minus initial temperature. So final temperature is T2, initial temperature is T1. When final temperature is greater than initial temperature, that means the internal energy of the system is increased. So this question concludes that delta U, that is the internal energy of the system during the process A to B, the internal energy is increased during this process. So you can write in your own words how to describe the answer, or you can say how to answer this question. I have explained the complete process, so you can use ideal gas equation, then you can give the reason. Increase, so ideal internal energy of the system will increase during the process A to B It is isobaric expansion process, and internal energy of the system will increase during this A to B process. I hope it is clear. If anyone is having doubt, he or she can ask. So this is the question number 1, and I am repeating again, internal energy of the system will increase during this A to B isobaric expansion process. Now we are going to solve the second question. In the second question, you can see in the second question, the weight of the person on the earth's surface is 100 Newton, and what will be the weight of person when he moves to the height r above the earth's surface. So in this question, variation of g, that is the acceleration due to gravity, variation of g with respect to height, I think height, yes, height concept is used. So formula for that will be, I hope if you remember the formulas, then you can easily attempt the questions. But if you do not remember the formulas, then you will obviously face problem. So g dash is acceleration due to gravity at height h. So g dash is equal to g, if you remember this one, g by 1 plus h by r. I always say don't use expansion, binomial expansion. I always say. That's why I say, because sometimes h is approximately equal to r or nearby equal to r. In that cases your answer will be wrong if you use the binomial expansion formula. So some students, they have used the binomial expansion formula, so their answer is not exactly right. So h by 2 square. So g dash is equal to g by 1 plus h by r square. This is the formula. Put this h equal to r. Put here r. Okay, I will raise it. Okay, I will raise it. Put here. This is the formula. This is the formula. And in place of h, you have to put the value r, because when the person moves height r above the earth's surface, so that means h is equal to r. If you need any raw diagram, then you can see this raw diagram. This is the earth, let's suppose, raw diagram. This is earth, it has radius r, it has the radius r. When you are moving, so we have to find the weight of person at this height, and this height is also equal to r. So from earth center the distance is 2r, but from earth surface the height is r. So this is the diagram. If you need diagram, then you can see this one. Now I am going to solve this question. So this formula is used, this formula will be used. So in place of h, we have to place r. So this is r by r square. So r and r will cancel out, and it will result in 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 square is 4. So finally you can say g dash is equal to acceleration due to gravity at that particular height is equal to g by 4. If I multiply both sides with m, I multiply here m also, I multiply m here also. So m into g, this is the weight of person. This is the weight of person at that particular height h above the earth surface. This is the weight of person at height, sorry, this is the weight of person at earth surface mg. So this is 100. So this is 100. So 100 by 4, and this is the weight of person at that particular height, which is r above the earth surface. So at that particular height the weight of the person is 25 Newton. So at that particular point, at that particular height, the weight of the person is 25 Newton. If anyone is having problem and anyone is having doubt, then he or she can please ask. So we are solving the questions, and 2 questions we have done. Side by side we will discuss the all questions. So 2 questions, any doubt? Okay, so now we are going to the internal choice or question. The moon's radius is 1 by 4 times. So this is the another question. You can attempt this also if you do not know the solution of our question. So now we are going to discuss this one. The moon's radius. So I have explained the formula for acceleration due to gravity in the beginning. G. During the starting of gravitation, I have explained the formula G is equal to G into ME. G into mass of planet or mass of body by R square if the body is spherical. So this is the formula for G, acceleration due to gravity. Can I write it as G ME and RE, and this is GE. So GE is equal to G into ME by RE square. This is the normal acceleration due to gravity formula for Earth. Now we are going to find for moon. Now we are going to find for the moon. So moon, let's write GM here. So easy questions are there, but some students got confused. So GM is equal to gravitational constant, that is capital G, into mass of moon. Now we have to write here mass of moon. So in place of mass of moon, can I write here 1 by 80 times the mass of earth? So 1 by 80 times mass of earth can I write here? Obviously. Then in the denominator I have to put radius of earth, radius of moon. So can I write here instead of radius of moon, can I write radius of moon in terms of radius of earth? So it is given 1 by 4 times. So I will write here 1 by 4 into R E square. When you solve it, you will get 1 by 5 times G into ME by RE square. So this is the acceleration due to gravity on earth. So G into ME by RE square. So this whole expression is giving me GE, which is acceleration due to gravity on earth. So you can simply say GM. Finally you can conclude that GM is equal to 1 by 5 GE. So acceleration due to gravity on moon surface is equal to 1 by 5 times the earth surface. So this is the conclusion for second question, and internal choice means the second question, second part. If you want to attempt it, then your answer will be GM is equal to 1 by 5 times GE. So this is the second question. Now we are going to move to the third question. If you have any doubts, then you can drop the message in the comment box, or you can drop the message on my phone number also. So second question we have done. Both the questions are from gravitation. Both the choice question is also from gravitation, and the another question is also from gravitation. So now we are moving to the third question. Third question, in a process, whole heat is converted into the change in internal energy. Read the question carefully and try to answer again. If you try to answer again. Some students have attempted it very well with the logic, with the concept, but some students their answer was not right. So try to answer it again. Think about it. Okay. The question was, in the process, whole heat is converted into change in internal energy. The whole heat is converted into change in internal energy. So let's discuss. In this question, you can easily say, using the first law, delta Q, that is change in heat or the heat supplied, you can say, wait, delta Q, that is equal to delta U, which is change in internal energy, delta U, plus W, which is work done. So during this process, he is saying whole heat, let's suppose if I provide 50 joule of heat to the system, then this 50 joule is converted into internal energy. 50 joule is converted into internal energy. That means work done for this process is 0. The process which is happening here, for that process the work done is equal to 0. And the work done, in which process work done is 0? When the volume does not change. Because if volume change, then we say work is done by the system or on the system. But if work done is equal to 0, that process is called isochoric, in which the volume does not change. So isochoric is the process in which whole heat is converted into change in internal energy. So this is isochoric process. Isochoric means in which the volume of the given system does not change with respect to time, or with respect to time we can say volume does not change. So in this process dV is equal to, if you have to write the equation but you have to answer the process, so it will be isochoric, change in volume is equal to 0. So dV does not change, that's why in this case work done is 0. So process is called isochoric process, work done is equal to 0, whole heat is converted into internal energy. I hope it is clear. If any doubt is there, then you can drop the message. Let's move to the question number 4. Question number 4 is, if pressure at half the depth of lake is equal to 4 by 5 times the pressure at bottom, then what is the depth of lake? So depth of lake is asked in the question, and the question is belonging to question is taken from bulk properties of matter, I think. Yes. So in this question you have to answer the depth of lake. So let's suppose this is beaker, this is the, let's suppose, lake. Okay, this is the lake. So step by step we will solve. Let's suppose this is the middle point. So he is saying that pressure at the, this is the top point, this is the top point. So this height is h, this height is h, and this height is obviously half depth means h by 2. So this height is h by 2. So I will give you the concept, after that you have to solve it. So the concept for the question is, pressure at this point is 4 by 5 times the pressure at this blue point, this bottom point. So pressure at half of the depth of a lake is equal to 4 by 5 times the pressure at bottom. So I will give the concept. Pressure at this center point at half depth is equal to P naught, P naught, P naught is atmospheric pressure. So P naught plus rho, rho is the density, density you can take water, density of water is 1000, rho into G into H by 2. So this is the pressure. 1 minute wait. This is the pressure at half the depth. This is equal to 4 by 5 times the pressure at bottom. So 4 by 5 times the pressure at bottom. So it is 4 by 5 P naught plus rho. Now the height we will take complete rho into G into H, because we are going to find the pressure at bottom. So this will be the equation. P naught plus rho G H by 2, this is the pressure at center point, which is pressure at half depth, is equal to 4 by times the pressure at bottom. So pressure at bottom is P naught plus rho G H. So after calculation, after some rearrangement, you will get P naught is equal to P naught is equal to 8 for 1 minute, 4 by 5, okay, 4 minus 4 minus 5 by 2, I think 4 minus 5 by 2 rho GH. This will be the rho GH. 4 minus 5 by 2. Yes, this is the right equation. So 4 minus 5, P naught is equal to 4 minus 5 by 2. So rho G H. After the rearrangement, you can solve, you can put the value of P naught, you can put the value of 3 by 2. Okay, so it will be equal to 3 by 2. So P naught ki put the value of wait for 1 minute. So it will be equal to P naught, put the value of P naught here. So this will be 4 2 is the 8, 8 minus 5, 3 by 2. So after the calculations, you can check P naught की value 1 by 1 into 10 raised to the power 5, 1 into 10 raised to the power 5 will be there. It is equal to 3 by 2. Check the calculation, some calculation mistake can be there. 3 by 2 into 1000, which is density of water, rho into G. G is acceleration due to gravity, take it as 10 also, and then we have H. So 3 zeros will cancel out from here, fourth will cancel out, so it will be 10 into 2 by 3. So confirm the answer, because I think some calculation 20 by 3 will be the height. Try to answer according to the calculation. 20 by 3 will be the answer. 20 by 3 meter. You can check it from the calculation part, maybe in the calculation part, because some few days earlier when we solved it, we get the answer 100 by 3. So check the calculation. If any calculation mistake is there, then you can change the answer. Otherwise, answer is 20 by 3. So this is the solution of fourth question. Method is that method I have already explained. The pressure at half depth is equal to 4 by 5 times the pressure at bottom. So you can do this in this way. So 20 by 3 according to according to the online solution that we have done just now, 20 by 3 is the right answer. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, the inlet of the pipe has area 2 meter square and the velocity at inlet. Wait, I will confirm the answer. Wait. In the fourth question I will confirm the answer. Answer will be 20/3 or 100/3. Wait, confirm करते हैं एक बार. Okay, so that answer 20/3 was right. Okay, 100/3 wrong answer. 20/3 is the right answer. Now the next question is, the inlet pipe area is this one. So this question is was asked from equation of continuity. So this is just a pipe, you can say. Its inlet area is, let's suppose, 2 meter, and velocity at this is 40 meter per second, and this is the area 4 meter square. So velocity at this point, obviously you can see this area is less, so velocity will be more at this point, and obviously this area is larger, so velocity will be less at this point. But what is the value of velocity that you have to find here? So let's suppose this is a1 and v1. That is the result of equation of continuity. a1 v1 is equal to a2 v2. So a1 v1 is equal to a2 v2. This is the result, and area A, this is 2 into velocity at this point is 40. So 2 into 40, that is equal to 2 into 40 is equal to A2. We know A2 is 4, but we do not know the velocity here, so we will write here v2. So you can check the calculation, and okay, 4 times the 40, so this is the 10, and 10 into 2 20. So v2 comes out to be 20 meter per second. So velocity at outlet, which is having the area 4 meter square, the velocity at outlet is 10 into 2, that is 20 meter per second. So velocity units are also important. So some students have missed the units also during the examination, so their marks are deducted. So 20 meter per second. This is the answer for question number 5th. Let's move to the next question. You can note down the solution. Okay. Next question is, the 3 water tanks are shown in the figure. If the small hole is punched near bottom of all, which one will get empty first? So in this question, you can see this question is asked from hydrostatic paradox, which means the shape of vessel does not affect the pressure at the bottom. So pressure at the bottom, in this case pressure at this point, which is bottom of the every beaker. So pressure at every point will be same. So if pressure is same and we punch the hole of same size in every vessel, then the water will empty in same time. So all the beakers will empty in same time. There is no time difference between the empty of every beaker. Means this beaker 1 will get empty first, beaker 2 will get empty first. This will not happen. Every beaker will empty at the same time. They all will empty in same time. So this is the 1 mark question, and the question was asked from hydrostatic paradox. Now we are going to start 2 marks question. These are the 6 1 mark questions that we have explained. If anyone is facing some problem in these 6 questions, then he or she can ask. Calculations you can check. If any calculation mistake is there, then you can discuss, you can tell me. Okay. So next question is 7th question. 7th question on screen now. Find the force required to double the length of steel wire of area. Cross section area is given here. So this is the cross section area, 5 into 10 raised to the power minus 5 meter square. Cross section area meter square unit. Okay. Young's modulus 2 into 10 raised to the power 11 Newton per meter square. So this is the Young's modulus unit. So question is asked from bulk properties of matter. So cross section area is given here. Cross section area is given here. and Young's modulus is also given. Two things are given. Anything else? Yes, one point is there. Force required to double the length. Force required to double the length. That means this is giving me some hint. This is giving me hint about delta L. So first of all, you have to know that Young's modulus is equal to Young's modulus Y is equal to stress by strain. Young's modulus is equal to stress by strain. So stress is force upon area. Stress is force upon area. Then we have, this is stress by strain. Strain is change in length by the original length. So here it will be original length. So this formula is to be used. This formula is to be used for solving this question number 7. And force we have to find. Young's modulus is given, area is given, delta L we have to find from the this line to double the length. Now see how to find delta L. Students, in the beginning it is saying that it has length L. Now its length is doubled, so that means it is stretched and its length is now 2L. So during this process delta L will be equal to 2L minus L. Delta L will be equal to 2L minus L, means change in length is equal to new length minus original length. So 2L minus L. So when he says double the length, that means delta L will be equal to L for that case. So that means this, in place of delta L we can write here L. In place of delta L I am writing L as by original length. So length and length will cancel out. When you are supposed to find force, then force will be equal to Young's modulus into area. So then you can calculate the force. Force will be equal to 5 into 2, 10. 10 into 10 raised to the power 11 minus 5, that is equal to 10 raised to the power 6 will be the answer. So this is 10 into 10 raised to the power 6. On simplifying you can say, by simplifying you can say the force required is 10 raised to the power 7 Newton. So this is the value of force, this is the amount of force which is required to double the length of steel wire having cross section given and Young's modulus is given. So this is the question number 7 solution. The concept is just from the concept that you have to extract from the question is delta L is equal to L. This is the concept that you have to extract from question. Any doubts? Okay, now we are going to move to the next question. Next question is, explain first and second law of thermodynamics. Write equations for isochoric and isobaric process. So next question is eighth question. Yes, okay, clear. So eighth question, explain first and second law of thermodynamics, and then you have to answer. You have to write the equations for isochoric and adiabatic processes. So first of all you have to know first law of thermodynamics. So first law of thermodynamics states that first law of thermodynamics states that first law, it states that it states that change in heat is equal to, when we supply some heat to the system, then some heat is converted into internal energy. That heat may be divided into internal energy plus work done. So this is the first law of thermodynamics. When we supply some heat to the system, then we suppose that that heat is divided into two parts. One is change in internal energy and the second one is work done. This is the first law, and the second law statement says that it is impossible to create make a machine which has 100% efficiency. Or you can define the second law: it is impossible to design a machine whose input is equal to output. कोई ऐसी मशीन हम नहीं डिज़ाइन कर सकते जिसकी इनपुट इक्वल टू आउटपुट हो. दैट इज़ कैल्विन प्लैंक्स स्टेटमेंट. तो यू कैन राइट दैट स्टेटमेंट. So there is no such machine which is 100% efficient, or you can say there is no such machine whose input is always equal to output. इसके बिना और भी बहुत सी definitions हैं. You can write this definition also. There is no such machine which will convert the whole heat into work done. पूरी की पूरी हीट जितनी भी सप्लाई करें वो वर्क डन में कन्वर्ट हो जाए. दिस इज ऑल्सो नॉट पॉसिबल. सो देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ डेफिनेशंस फॉर सेकेंड लॉ. But for first law, delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W, or you can write W. That is first and second law. So you have to write the definitions. Then after that you have to write first law equations for isochoric and adiabatic process. So for isochoric process, you know, volume is constant. Isochoric process, yes, obviously volume is constant, so that means volume does not change. That means work done is equal to 0. So for isochoric process, Q is equal to, for the isochoric process, Q is equal to, or you can write delta Q here. So delta Q is equal to delta U, and work done you can write here 0 also, because if you will write W, then it will be first law. You have to left it vacant, or you have to write here 0. If you will write 0, then it will be more clear that you know about the process. For the adiabatic process, you have to write here delta Q. Delta Q is equal to 0. So that here you have to mention 0. So this will be the more clear equations for isochoric as well as adiabatic process. It will be more clear. If when you will write 0, then it will be more clear. So this is equal to delta U plus W, because in this case some work done can be there. So change in heat means there is no transfer of heat during the adiabatic process. So 0 is equal to delta U plus W. This is for adiabatic process, and this is for isochoric process. If any doubt is there in 8th question, then you can ask. I hope it is clear. Okay, 8th question we have done. You can note down the solution. Okay, now we are going to next question. Rohit designed a thermometer having freezing point. So this is the another question that obviously you were expecting in the examination. So Rohit has designed a thermometer having freezing point 20 R and boiling point 200 R. If temperature is 15 Kelvin, then you have to find the temperature on Rohit's thermometer. कि थर्मामीटर रोहित का जो थर्मामीटर है उसके ऊपर टेम्परेचर क्या है. So I will give you the hint. After that derivations are there. Some derivations are there in 3 marks. So I will give you just a hint for the rest of the questions. So Rohit has designed the thermometer. So his freezing point is 20 R. So 20 R means जैसे सेल्सियस का सिंबल है, सेल्सियस means C, Kelvin means key. तो Rohit has designed his thermometer. So he has given R as symbol to his thermometer. So now reading of Rohit thermometer. So I am writing reading of Rohit thermometer is as R. So R minus freezing point 20, R minus freezing point 20 divided by boiling point, that is 200 minus freezing point, that is 20. This is equal to, now we are going to Kelvin scale. So this formula I think you know all. So Kelvin scale reading is 50. So 50 minus Kelvin scale's freezing point, that is 273 divided by Kelvin scale boiling point 373, and here we have to write 273. So after calculation you can check the value of this R. You have to find the reading of Rohit thermometer. So R की जो value है that you can easily find after the calculation. So let me check, एक बार check कर लें कितनी आती है R की value. So R comes out to be 381.4. Negative value is there. So R comes out to be minus 381 381.4. So this will be the value on रोहित थर्मामीटर, जो रोहित का थर्मामीटर है उस टाइम उसके ऊपर ये वैल्यू होगी at temperature 50 Kelvin. When the surrounding temperature is given 50 Kelvin, then the temperature on Rohit thermometer will be minus 381.4. So this will be the answer for question number 9. If any doubt is there, then you can ask. Any confusion? Okay, let's move to the next question. The next question, determine the terminal velocity. Define terminal velocity of the body. So terminal velocity means when a body is falling in the fluid, or let's suppose this body is falling downward in the air, then air will act as fluid. At a particular time, there is a particular time at which F net means net force on this body, net force on this spherical body is equal to 0. When this net force is equal to 0, that time the velocity of the body is known as terminal velocity. So for terminal velocity we have to consider three considerations. This body is let's suppose this spherical body is falling down. This body is falling down. So its weight is downward. I am writing here its weight. Weight will be downward. Upthrust force will be there. Upthrust, that is U. And viscous force is also there. That is taken from Stokes theorem. So Fv, that is equal to 6 pi nr V. So this is the derivation part. Upthrust force you have to convert it into rho gh. Weight you have to convert, Fv you have to convert, and finally you get the answer. You get terminal velocity Vt. I am not writing here complete derivation. So Vt is equal to 2 by 9. Here is I think coefficient of viscosity. Here is R square, and check that thing. Okay, sigma minus rho is also there. Sigma minus rho, and G will be also there. So I think G will be here. G yahi kahin hoga. So 2G. This will be the expression I think for terminal velocity. So terminal velocity is the velocity at which the net force on the spherical body, net force on the body which is falling in the fluid, that is equal to 0. So this is the derivation, इस type की derivation थी that you have to complete. In the next process, what do you mean by adiabatic process? Okay, so adiabatic process is the process in which there is no heat transfer. Wait 1 minute please. Okay, next question is, what do you mean by adiabatic process? Derive the expression for work done for adiabatic process. So in this question First of all, adiabatic process. Adiabatic process is the process in which there is no heat transfer, and the equation for adiabatic process is PV gamma is equal to constant. Then after that you have to take P is equal to K by V raised to the power gamma, then you have to integrate it, then you have to find the work done. So this is the complete derivation part is there. What do you mean by adiabatic process? That you already know. Equation for adiabatic process is PV gamma equal to constant. So then you have to derive the expression, and finally you will get work done formula, that will be equal to, so work done will be equal to P2 V2 minus P1 V1 by 1 minus gamma. So that will be the expression P1 V1 by gamma minus 1. So this will be the work done. 1 minus gamma can be there. Wait. Okay, if you will write P2 V2 here, then it in the denominator it will be gamma minus 1. If you will write P1 V1 minus P2 V2, then it will be 1 minus gamma. So this is the expression for work done. Two questions are left, and the next question is define the escape velocity. So escape velocity is the velocity when you throw a body with the escape velocity, that body will not come back to the earth, or that body will not come back to the planet, you can say. That means to escape the body from gravitational field से बाहर बॉडी को भेजने के लिए जो वेलोसिटी रिक्वायर्ड है, दैट इज कॉल्ड escape velocity. तो कोई उसका फील्ड का इफेक्ट ना रहे सराउंडिंग का, जो ग्रेविटेशन फील्ड है किसी भी बॉडी के अबाउट, बिकॉज वी नो व्हेन दिस इज अ बॉडी, दिस बॉडी हैज़ सम स्पेसिफिक सराउंडिंग. इसके सराउंडिंग में क्या होगा, किसी लिमिट तक एक ग्रेविटेशन फील्ड होगा इस तरह से. सो इस ग्रेविटेशन फील्ड के बाहर किसी बॉडी को अगर हमने सेंड करना है ताकि वो बॉडी वापस ना आए, दैट वेलोसिटी इज कॉल्ड, उस वेलोसिटी को बोलेंगे एस्केप वेलोसिटी. एंड इसकी डेरिवेशन है, तो इसका रिजल्ट आई एम राइटिंग हियर एस्केप वेलोसिटी वी ई, लेट्स सपोज. सो एस्केप वेलोसिटी फॉर एनी प्लैनेट दैट इज इक्वल टू अंडर रूट 2 जी m, where g is universal gravitation constant, m is mass of planet, gm by r. So this is escape velocity relation. ये derivation आपको करनी पड़ेगी. This will be the help of you can do this with the help of gravitational potential energy. उसके साथ ये derivation हो पाएगी. So escape velocity question is there. This question was asked from gravitation. Then next question, forces. Okay, state and prove Bernoulli's theorem. This question was asked from okay, wait, first of all we have to do this question. Okay, 1 2 3. Okay, so let's do this question. Two wires A and B having same material, having radius ratio, this one length ratio, this one, the ratio of normal force is required to produce the same change in length. So this ratio, this question we have to do. Let's start this one. So first of all, Young's modulus of first wire by Young's modulus of second wire, because they are of same material, so their Young's modulus will be same. Their Young's modulus will be same. Or you can simply say, चलो अभी करते हैं क्वेश्चन. Young's modulus is equal to this, Young's modulus is equal to this. I am writing this one for first equation. So first equation, Young's modulus is equal to force upon area. Now we don't know the area, but we know the ratio of radius. So I am writing here pi into r a square बन गई. So let's write here FA, force required for wire A, that is FA by area pi r square. So this is stress by strain. Now he is saying produce the same change, so that means delta L will be same, but delta L by original length, that is L1. Delta L is same, elongation is same. Suppose one wire is 10 centimeter, one wire is 20 centimeter, but in both the wires the change in length is same. That means delta L is same. Means if I have to stretch 1 centimeter 10 centimeter wire by 1 centimeter, then I have to stretch the 20 centimeter wire by 1 centimeter also. That means delta L is same, L1 and L2 are different. So then in the same way, gamma is equal to FB. So this is FB by pi RB square, RB square L1. Here we will write L2, and on this side and delta L will be there. So as both the wires are of same material, so their gamma is same. This is gamma, Young's modulus. So y, you can say gamma or y. So these can I equate these two? So I am equating these two. So after equating these two equations, I will get FA by FB. Wait. FA by FB, it is equal to, थोड़ा सा changes will be here. We will write pi. You can see the previous step, RA square by pi RB square. Pi and pi will also cancel out, so it will be pi RB square. Then delta and delta L will also cancel out. Delta L and delta L, that will also cancel out. So on FA side, here we have L1 by L2. Pi area will be left and length will be left. Young's modulus is equal to 1. So length ratio is here pi will also cancel out. Delta L will also cancel out. Pi also cancel out. So FA by FB, that will be equal to RA by RB square. So this is RA by RB. So RA radius ratio is given 2:1. So it is 2:1. 2:1. Its square is there. And L1 L2 ratio is 4:1. 4:1. When you will square it, it will be equal to 4 by 1 again. So 4 and 4 again cancel out. So finally your answer will be this 4 and 4 will also cancel out. So FA ratio FB, that will be equal to 1. So in the final answer you will see FA by FB, that will be equal to 1. So both the forces are required in the ratio 1. So both the forces must be equal. You can say 1:1 will be the ratio of two normal forces which are required. So I hope the question is clear. 1:1 in the question. Same change means delta L will be same for both the wires, but there is role of length ratio has to play the role in this question. In some questions strain is given same. In that questions the ratio of length does not matter, but in this question the length ratio matter and the ratio final ratio of forces becomes 1:1. I hope it is clear. Okay, let's move to the next question. You can note down it. Next is state and prove Bernoulli's theorem. So it is Bernoulli's theorem. You have to prove pressure head is equal to velocity head plus potential head. So this derivation you have to do Bernoulli's theorem, and this question was asked from bulk properties of matter. So fluid, from fluid unit this question is asked. Okay, in this type of derivation is there like this one. So this is the pipe in which liquid is flowing from lower position to the upper position. So in this way derivation you have to complete. Kinetic energy is there, work done by kinetic energy, work done by pressure forces. So this type of derivation you have to do, and it contains 3 marks. No choice is there. This is a question of 3 marks in which no choice was provided. So three questions of 3 marks we have discussed, and one of them was numerical also. This numerical was in the choice of escape velocity. Escape velocity derivation you have to do, or you have to do this Young's modulus numerical. Before that 3 mark question, yes, there was adiabatic process and work done in adiabatic process and terminal velocity derivation. So there is a choice between these two questions also, terminal velocity or adiabatic process work done. So these are the 3 marks 3 questions. So 9 marks are from here also. Now we are left with one question. So one question is that you have to drive the relation of variation of g with respect to depth and height. We know depth with respect to depth and height value of acceleration due to gravity will change, and two relations we get that you have to prove. Okay, two relations you have to prove. After that inside the earth gravitational g is directly proportional to small r. G is directly proportional to small r. So when you have to plot the graph between acceleration due to gravity g and versus r, where r is the distance from center. So when you have to plot this graph, let's suppose this point is capital R. So here r is equal to radius of earth. So that means here we reached the earth surface, and if I am here, then I am inside the earth surface. So inside the earth surface g is directly proportional to r. So that means up to this point, let's suppose it is the maximum value of g. From here it is the maximum value of g, because at earth surface g is maximum. So this will be the graph. At earth surface g is maximum. After that it will decrease exponential. It will decrease in exponential way. So in this way you can say this graph will continue. So this is the 1 mark graphical question, and with that derivation was there, 3 marks derivation. Discuss the derivation of variation of g with respect to height and depth. In both cases the value of g will decrease. For the height case the derivation is easy. For the depth case the derivation is a little bit complex, because you have to take the concept of remaining mass. Because when you take, this is, let's suppose, earth, when you move inside the earth, then you have to take this portion, and then you have to take this mass. So little bit you can say time consuming or long question was here. So this was the question, and inside the earth this is like g is directly proportional to r, and after that g is inversely proportional to r when we go above the earth surface, or when we move away from Earth's surface. So this will be exponential decrease with respect to distance. So this will be the graph for G versus R. We have already discussed this graph in during the classes also. So if any doubt is there, then you can ask. Next is drive the relation between principal specific heats. So two type of specific heat we have studied. One is specific heat at constant pressure, and another is specific heat at constant volume, Cp and Cv. So you have to drive the relation between Cp and Cv. For this you have to consider two processes. One is isobaric process and one is isochoric process, in which internal energy change will be same, that will be cancelled out or deleted out. So Cp minus Cv is equal to R. This relation you have to prove. This is also called Mayer's formula. So you have to prove this relation for 3 marks if you are not going to attempt the above question, and then you have to find the work done during this cyclic process. So I will focus not on this derivation, because derivation we have already done, and if anyone is facing some problem, then he or she can discuss with me this derivation. Now we are going to find the work done for the last question, and then we will conclude the video. So in this video my motive was to discuss the whole paper, and now we are going to solve this question. So I am dividing this question into two parts. This is a triangle, this portion is triangle. I am taking this as triangle, a separate figure. You can do it in another way also. You can take the trapezium also. So let's take first trapezium. Trapezium is this is trapezium, and these are the two parallel sides. Wait, these are the two parallel sides. This is the one parallel side, and this is another second parallel side, you can say. I am using here shortcut. You can use the complete method also, but I am using shortcut. So these are the two parallel sides. So work done is equal to half sum of two parallel sides. So if I have to sum the two parallel sides, so this is equal to 5b minus b, so it is 4b plus this is 4b minus b, so it is 3b. So 4b plus 3b, these are the sum of parallel sides into perpendicular distance between them. So perpendicular distance is this one. Wait students, perpendicular distance is this one. So this is 5p minus 3p, so it is 2p. So 2p is the perpendicular distance between two parallel sides. So 2 and 2 will cancel out. So finally work done is equal to 7 PV, and this is a cyclic process and clockwise cycle is there, so that means work done is positive. So positive work done will be there, 7 PV. This is the answer. This is the one way to find the answer using trapezium method. Now we are going to discuss triangular method, where I will separate these two figures, and to separate these two figures I will separate it from here. This is triangle and this is rectangle. So firstly I will find the area of this rectangle, this area, because during the shortcuts we have discussed that when a cyclic process is given, we have to find the area of that cyclic figure. So this cyclic figure, this is rectangle, so its area is 3v, 4v minus v, so 3v length into breadth is 3p and 5p. This is the breadth, so breadth is 2p. So area of this rectangle is 6pv. I hope it is clear. So area of this rectangle is 6p into v. Now you can check here this area of triangle. Area of triangle is equal to this triangle area half half base is 5v minus v, so base is v into perpendicular is same, because for rectangle this is 2p and for triangle perpendicular is also 2p. So 2 and 2 will again cancel out in this case also. So PV is the area of this triangle. So final total work done will be, you can say total work done is equal to area of this rectangle plus area of triangle, and the total work done is 6 PV plus PV, so 7 PV. This is the total work done for this question, and sign is positive because this cyclic process is clockwise. So this is the whole question paper discussion. We have discussed every question, and sometime we have provided on it, and if any doubt is there from the first 6 questions, then 2 marks question, then 3 marks question, and then these 4 marks questions, if in any question you face some problem, then you can discuss. If in any derivation you are facing some issues, you are having some doubts, the questions are not clear to you, then you can drop a message on my number, you can drop a comment here, or you can discuss the doubt with Mr. Sushil also. He is also there, so you can discuss with anyone, but it is not depending on you that at what time you will discuss. So try to concentrate, try to get approximately the minimum marks that we are expecting from everyone. Approximately we are expecting 17 to 18 marks from everyone. If you are getting below than 17 to 18, then you have to think about the concepts why you are lagging behind. So minimum marks 17 to 18 we are expecting from everyone. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you feel that this video is useful to you, then you can like this video, share this video with your friends, and subscribe the channel also, and share the channel link also with the other friends who are studying in different schools, who are studying with different platforms. So thank you so much for watching this video. Have a nice day ahead. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you so much. And here is my phone number. If anyone wants to contact me, then you can contact me on this my number, 8727955300. So this is my contact number, and if anyone wants to contact me and for any type of notes of +1 +2 physics, then you can contact me. These notes will be provided free of cost, because sharing is caring, and everything will be provided free on my platform. So thank you so much for watching this video. I am again repeating, if you feel that this video is useful, then you can share this video, you can like this video, and subscribe to the channel, and share the channel link with your friends also. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye bye.